Welcome back. We have Dr. Turner with us today from Irvine Clinical Research, and he's here to talk about some clinical trials that have to do with Alzheimer's. Great to have you, sir, as always.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. So tell us about this. There's some new kinds of therapy out there.
We have a glimpse of potentially some hope in one of the recent clinical trials that have been published recently and announced. It was a we call it phase 2 clinical trials. And these clinical trials, the whole purpose is to get these medications through a scientific process, and if successful, to get them to the FDA for approval, and if approved, to bring these meds out to the public. And clinical trials go through phases. There is a preclinical phase where these meds are tested in mice and rats and different animals and things of that sort. If those studies in the preclinical phases are successful, we take it over to phase 1. Phase 1 clinical trials is designed to check for safety. To make sure that there's no major safety concerns, things of that sort. And if it passes through phase 1, it moves on to phase 2. Phase 2 looks and continues to look at safety, but also looks at a variety of dosing. Is it what doses work the best? Is it a 10 milligram dose, 50 milligram dose, 100 milligram dose? We look at variety of dosing in phase 2, and we continue to look at safety. And in addition to dosing, they look to see if the medication is supposed to do what it's supposed to do with that. If phase 2 shows that a particular dose works, that it continues to be safe, and that it shows some promise in what it's designed to do, then the medication moves on to the last phase, which is phase 3. Phase 3 is where we develop, or where we put this medication through a larger group of patients, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands. A larger group of patients, to show that, again, that it's safe, that we got the right dose, and that it does what it's supposed to do. And once a medication goes through successfully, the preclinical phase, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, it goes to the FDA, and they say, hey, you know, we're successful in all these 3 phases, it does what it's supposed to do, will you approve it? And if the FDA says yes, then it goes on to the market, where a physician can write a prescription for it with that.
So the big question is, how long does that, I mean, the entire process, how long does that take?
Great question. From somebody's mind to an FDA approval, about 10 years.
Wow.
And billions of dollars.
Wow.
Yes, and sometimes it, you know, these new medications come out and they cost thousands of dollars. And who's going to be able to afford this? It's going to break the bank. And I feel for my patients, because oftentimes these meds come out and we're not able to afford it because of the price ticket that's tagged on. Other times I kind of see why the price ticket is high. These drug companies spend billions and billions of dollars on this, which they're trying to recuperate. So there's got to be some fair balance somewhere between there, because many of these clinical trials fail, whether in phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. And when they fail, you know, that's just money gone that has been in, from the drug companies that they try to recuperate.
Let me ask you something about that. Although this, you know, I find that, you know, since we're talking about this, it's kind of a good discussion, because on one hand, the big drug companies, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but they want sick people. They look at the drug, they go, can we make money on this? If only 1,000 people will benefit, that's not good. If millions will benefit, and something that will go on and on and on and on for decades, that's a good buy-in for us. I mean, let's face it, that's the way it is. Is there a different way to be doing this, and maybe doing these drug trials through universities or something like that?
Universities do the drug trials. Yes, they do drug trials. both universities, nonprofits, and for-profit organizations, they all participate in this.
Right.
And in particularly with Alzheimer's, we have had hundreds of trials for Alzheimer's. As you know, and I've spoken before about this, we have not had anything successful. In the last 15 years.
Right.
We have not had anything new. 2 weeks ago, one particular medication, it was co-sponsored by Eisai and Biogen, I believe.
Okay.
This medication is in a class of medications of which we call BACE inhibitors. Beta amyloid cleaving enzyme BACE inhibitors. And what that is that when amyloid beta is being produced, it goes through these steps of production, and then it becomes, you know, this plaque, right? This amyloid beta plaque. This medication, in the category of BACE inhibitors, at the production level, it goes through and it blocks the production of amyloid with that. And so this is a large class of medication currently being studied, along with immunotherapy, which is another class of medication being studied for Alzheimer's. Immunotherapy, specifically, we use, we call it monoclonal antibodies, where we infuse these antibodies in the patients once a month, once every few months, with the goal of, again, actually training the immune system to recognize the plaque as the bad guy, and the immune system theoretically will gobble up the plaque and remove it. So the antibody treatment removes plaque, whereas BACE inhibitor stops and blocks production. So you got production being stopped in one category, and removal of the plaque in another category of studies, two large categories. So this BACE inhibitor was shown in the news, I think Alzheimer's News Today or something like that recently, was shown to be effective in its phase 2, where it was determined that it was able to reduce plaque in the brain, which was exciting. But not only that, it was statistically significant, meaning they looked at it and they made sure that it wasn't an accident, it wasn't random. But not only did they reduce plaque in the brain, but the second phase of that, or the second thing they were looking at, was that they were able to move in the right direction of slowing down memory loss. So here you have plaque removal and slowing down memory loss hand in hand in this one study, which was neat. It's the first time a BACE inhibitor actually has gotten this far to show both reduction in plaque and a movement toward slowing down memory loss. Phase 2 study. The phase 3 study is something we're conducting in our office now with this medication.
Very good.
So it was really exciting news.
And it goes through that, what, about a year does it take?
It's a multi-year study with that. If successful in phase 3, obviously this may be the first new medication that we have had in 15 years or over 15 years with that to slow this down. But I saw that in the news probably 2-3 weeks ago. And it's always exciting to see some glimpse of hope, because so many clinical trials have failed in Alzheimer's treatment. With
this is really good, and it, like you said, it takes so long that you know, even now you still got a few more years to go on this.
Right. These studies, they're from beginning to end. It's about 10 years. It's the process we have set up to ensure that these medications are studied in detail and appropriately, and not to rush these meds out. Later to find out that it wasn't, you know, something was bad with it. But at the same time, folks are waiting for hope. And we don't have a great deal to offer from an FDA, you know, medication approved perspective with that. Well,
this is good news. And how does somebody get into this trial? I mean, what's the qualifications? What do you look at?
They would just see me in the office. As you know, I do free consultations. And they would just contact us, come in, see me for a free consultation. and I would assess their medical history, look at
Okay.
their meds, and see if they're a good candidate for any one of our trial.
And now, for trials
that.
like this, at what point are they? At the beginning stages? If they're more the advanced stages, are they unfortunately past that? For this one, you just
for
told
this
me
one, mild,
Okay.
mild to moderate, I believe, is the official. But we're looking for patients who have some memory loss, but not severe memory
Yeah.
loss, because our goal is to stop the damage before it's done.
Yeah.
And so that's why we look for more the mild
Yeah.
phase with that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good news.
Very good news so far.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in phase 3.
Yeah. Well, if you want to contact Dr. Trin, you can. HealthyBrainClub.com is the website. The number is 949-753-1663 for a free consultation, and possibly, you or maybe someone you know could be a candidate for one of these trials. So,
Definitely.
very good.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Take
All
care.
right. Good
We'll
to
be
see
right
you.
back.
All right.